Hello and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is shrink your time frame to shrink your anxiety. So this can be anxiety related to a lot of things. Since this is a health and fitness kind of channel, it might be anxiety related to a health and fitness goal you have. So maybe you're trying to lose weight, maybe you have an upcoming competition or contest. There's just something like kind of like a goal you're working towards, and maybe you're just kind of stressing out over it, and it's giving you some anxiety, and we're going to talk today about how to kind of manage some of that anxiety. And then also this would be helpful outside of the gym as well. So if you're just having anxiety related to like social anxiety, kind of just the stresses of crazy life, whether that's being around people or at work or just feeling like you're falling behind in life, maybe. I think we've all felt that way at certain times, where we kind of take a look at our life and be like, holy crap, I thought I'd be further ahead than this by now. But so it's kind of like if we're struggling with anything, the hope is that this can help. And often anxiety comes from kind of like a fear or an uncertainty of the future. So kind of this feeling of the unknown, or that maybe we don't have control. So we know what we want to happen, but we fear that it won't, or we fear that, I don't know, just something's going to come up and get in the way and mess around with that. So what we want to talk about today is the concept of shrinking your time frame would be to not look so far into the future and look into the present, look into the now, look into kind of what you can do in this moment. So in regards to kind of goal adherence, so let's take an example of somebody trying to lose weight. And this could be somebody trying to gain weight. It can be really anything. You know, I'm going to use this example because it's probably one of the most common ones. But if we have this goal adherence, so let's think, I got a client recently, for example, and she tracks her weekly habits by the day and by the meal per day. So we have kind of a chart where she's supposed to have 5 meals a day, and it would be kind of like your normal breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then like kind of a mid-morning snack and a mid-afternoon snack, kind of help kind of give her energy throughout the day and control her blood sugar. So she has 5 meals a day. There's 7 days in a week. There's 35 meals. So she brought in her paper last week, and one of the conversations we had was she talked about how she had kind of messed up so badly by Thursday during her week. She messed up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and part of Thursday, that she was starting to really get stressed going into Thursday night, kind of freaking out and like, oh my gosh, I've ruined the whole week, like I'm falling more behind, I'm never going to reach my goal, oh my gosh, what does it all matter? And then she went and acted a fool on Friday, Saturday, and then ate nothing on Sunday to try to make up for eating everything on Friday and Saturday, and it was just a crap show, basically. So when we were talking, we came to kind of the conclusion that she had become, like, she could feel the mounting anxiety and the mounting stress. By Tuesday evening, she said she could start to feel it. So she had kind of made a mistake on, I think, 1 or 2 mistakes on Monday, 1 or 2 mistakes already by Tuesday. So by Tuesday night, she was already feeling like a failure for the whole week, and it was only Tuesday night. So then into Wednesday, she kind of felt super stressed all day Wednesday, and she could feel herself trying to like analyze everything she did all day Wednesday, and the mental pressure of that just kind of wore her out. And then, like we said, she kind of lost her mind by Thursday and started eating everything Friday and Saturday. And part of what was the problem for her was she kept looking at the whole week. So even Tuesday night, she was judging the whole week. She didn't realize that. Maybe she had messed up Monday and Tuesday, but she had as much control, or she had a likelihood or a possibility for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to all go pretty darn well. Maybe she would have only made 1 mistake on all of those days, on each of them. So that would have ended the week way, way, way better than her previous weeks, by the way. So typically out of 35 meals, this client is averaging around kind of 8 to 10 mistakes a week. And how we classify a mistake in this manner was anything off of her plan. So even if she ate kind of well, but she ate at a restaurant, she doesn't know if that food was cooked in butter or any kind of extra oils. She maybe, didn't perfectly portion out her foods. So maybe she had, grilled meat and a potato, but that potato was probably the size of her face, and she ate the whole thing. So even though it was healthy foods, she didn't measure it, she didn't cook it herself, so she wouldn't have known exactly what was in it. So therefore, it's kind of a mistake during that week. And then any missed meals is a mistake as well. So she was averaging, like we said, around 10 or so mistakes a week. So if she had messed up, twice on Monday and twice on Tuesday, that's 4. But then just 1 on Wednesday is 5, 1 on Thursday is 6, 1 on Friday is 7, 1 on mistake on Saturday is 8, 1 mistake on Sunday is 9. So she still would have kind of ended, if she'd been doing 10s, she'd have ended 1 ahead. So 1 less mistake than before, and she would have been better off. But on Tuesday, by already viewing the whole week as a failure, by looking ahead, feeling overwhelmed by what was ahead, she kind of lost the entire week. And that's kind of one example of how our anxiety over too large of a time frame, our anxiety over looking too far into the future, can ruin our now. So what we talked about, her goal this week was, she normally has a whole chart that has the whole week on the chart. So it has Monday through Sunday on the chart. And we decided this week, that she would convert it to her phone and she would just look one day at a time. So she wouldn't look at that whole chart, seeing all those days coming ahead and all the choices and stuff that she was going to be faced with. She was just going to look at Monday, take care of Monday. Look on Tuesday, take care of Tuesday. And benefit was, she also wasn't going to see Monday on Tuesday. She wasn't going to see Monday and Tuesday on Wednesday. So if she does mess up one day, she gets to start fresh the very next day. So she didn't see it as a whole week at a time. She's now going to look at it one day at a time. And that's going to help her. So, and we talked about how that was the plan. So we'll let you know how that goes maybe in a future podcast. But that would be the concept we're looking for here, is to try to narrow down our time frames. So look at things day by day, not weekly or even monthly or as a whole goal. So if somebody wants to lose 30 pounds, let's just say they're going to lose 30 pounds in 3 months. Don't look at that as a huge chunk, like all 3 months. So what I do today can affect 3 months. What I do tomorrow can affect 3 months. What I can do the next day can affect 3 months. Just look at it like day by day, week by week. Look at it in smaller chunks. So if you do today what you should do today, you will get where you should be tomorrow. That's something to remember. That only right now is what you can control. I can only control the choices I make in this very moment. Whether I choose to eat something or not eat something, whether I choose to go to the gym or not go to the gym, whether I choose to go to sleep on time or watch Netflix till 4 a.m. So the choices I have right now are where my focus should be, not on choices I can't even make yet, not on actions that I can't even act upon yet. So we want to shrink that time frame and look at the now. Look at this one moment. What can you do right now that'll set you forward in the positive direction and not hold you back? Then, if we look at competition anxiety, that's very common. So I work with a lot of people who do powerlifting meets and aesthetic shows, and that's very, very, very common to start to have anxiety leading up towards their event, so their competition or their show. And part of it is because they want it so badly. Like, it means a lot to them, so they want to do well, they want to be successful, and all of a sudden they start kind of creating pressure on themselves for this day. The day that is coming up on their meet day or their show day, and they think, oh, I hope this goes well, I hope this goes well. If it's, a static competition, they're going to be like, oh, I hope my tan turns out, hope nothing happens to my trunks, I hope I don't slip and fall when I pose. You can't do anything about any of that like 6 weeks out. So you can't do anything about your pose tanning 6 weeks out. So yes, you can set maybe your appointments and stuff, so you can be active, you can maybe get your trunks, maybe even buy like a second pair. Now if you're doing a female doing like bikini or figure, those suits are like $1 bajillion, so you probably don't want to buy a second one of that. But getting it as early as the tailor would allow, so you don't want to get it too early where they can't fit it correctly to you. But getting stuff on time and doing it in the order in which it should be done is about all you can do. So if you're looking ahead, weeks and weeks or even months ahead to this one day, and that's what's causing you anxiety, you need to recognize that you can't do anything that day. You can't do anything about that day today, except for your training, your nutrition, your rest. So how you train today will affect that day. How you eat today will affect that day. How you rest today will affect that day. So that's where your focus needs to be. So way too often. I have people getting ready for competitions and they start freaking out about things not in the present moment. Meanwhile, they're bombing their present moment. So I have people spend an entire workout talking about the anxiety and fear they have of like their hair or their makeup on the show day. Meanwhile, they're not even paying attention to their damn workout. So they're kind of like blowing through everything, not paying attention to the quality of the contractions. They're stopping at 10 when they really could have done 12, 13, or 14. They're losing the moment for fear of the future. And oh, that is so sad. Because when you lose the moment, you're almost like you're ensuring a negative future, or at least a lessened future. So by not paying attention to the present, you're actually sabotaging the quality of what's going to happen. So you need to pay attention to right now. So it is true that if you think of posing, which is an action you can do on show day, or if you think of a lift, so if you're a strongman or powerlifter or something like that, you can think of a lift on competition day. So you can do visualization, and that does help. So you can visualize yourself going through your poses, you can visualize yourself going through your lifts, but that is meant to be a calming effect and also a preparatory effect. It is not an anxiety effect. So you want to just think of step by step, move by move, how you should be doing that lift or those poses. And that's something you can do that's almost like a view of the future. So visualization of your competition or meet day, that is something that's helpful, but stay only in that. So don't start thinking of the accessory like outside stuff. So don't start thinking of, what if the judges do this at the meet, or what if your food isn't right, or blah, 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 blah. Stay in the visualization of what you're looking for, the action that you're trying to take. So visualization does help, but you don't want to stress over the meet day itself, the whole thing, okay, until you actually get to meet day. So that's one of the big things you can think of is when you're experiencing stress, you want to kind of think to yourself, can I control that now? So the thing that I'm worrying about, can I control that now? Or you can ask yourself, what can I do right now that'll help for that? And that's the best questions, that's the best stuff you can do to refocus yourself. So if you're coming up to a competition, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid I'm not going to be in shape. I'm going to look like a fat whale on stage. I'm not going to have enough muscle. I'm not going to be lean enough. You got to think to yourself, okay, I got to calm down here. So what can I do about that right now? Oh, what do you know? I'm supposed to be doing a meal plan today. I'll probably follow my meal plan. Or, oh, I have a workout. Let me kill this workout. Let me get so hyper-focused on every muscular contraction, on every movement, and try to be the best I can be in this workout. So that's what you want to do, is you narrow your time frame by paying attention to the present. So when you feel yourself getting stressed, ask yourself, can I control that now? What I'm getting stressed about, can I control that right now? If the answer is no, stop stressing about it. But here's the key. You got to do something with that energy. So your stress energy, you have to find something to do. So that's why you ask the second question. What can I do right now that'll help? And then go do that. Okay? That's where you need to put your focus. That's where you need to put your attention and put your energy. So when we're anxious and we're nervous, that means we often have kind of like a buildup of energy inside of us. You can't just tell that to go away. It doesn't disappear. You have to give it something to do. Okay? So you need to stop looking ahead and look right where you're at, right now, right here, and be active. So get anxiety out of your mind by getting your body moving. You got to find something to do. Okay? So sometimes that can be, visualization. Take your anxiety and just turn that into some visualization practice. You can also maybe just write notes, maybe write a timeline of how you want that day to go. If it's a competition, like an aesthetic competition, try to write out when you think your meals will be. Try to write out when you think you should start getting your hair and nails done, when you should start doing this and this and this. Kind of write out a time frame for the day. So just kind of do something that makes you feel active. You can even go for a walk if it doesn't mess up whatever your competition prep is. So the goal is to just be active, get busy. So you're going to have this nervous energy inside of you that if you just try to deny it and make it go away, it ain't going to. And you're just going to kind of feel defeated because you're not going to feel successful at trying to fight off your anxiety. So one of the best things you can do for anxiety is get busy. So you can get out of your mind by getting into your body and get your body moving. That helps a ton. Okay? So That's just some ideas to think of. So if you are struggling with anxiety, recognize again, like we said earlier, that often that's going to be related to a fear of the future or an uncertainty of the future. And what that means is you're looking in the future. So your anxiety is because of what you're not sure of or what you're afraid of that might be coming later on. Don't worry about later on. Worry about today. Worry about right now. So if you control your todays, you will be able to control your tomorrow. You can't do anything about tomorrow today, but you can take care of today. So, and if you do take care of today, that'll ensure a better chance for your tomorrow. It's true that things don't always work out, even if you try, your best in every moment of every day. Like, there are things that just don't go well in life. But you're going to set yourself up for the best chance at success, or at least a good version of a lesson to success by taking care of your present moment as much as you can. So don't look too far into the future. Don't get lost in the anxiety of the fear of the future, the uncertainty of the future. So shrink your time frame into right now. Think of right now. Ask yourself, can I control what I'm freaking out about? Can I control that now? Probably not. So what can I do right now that can help me be better prepared for that future that I'm afraid of? What is the best action I can take today to help for my tomorrow? Okay? So, if you are struggling with goal adherence or you're struggling with anxiety related to like competitions, and if you think it's something that we might be able to help you out with, or you'd like to just reach out and have somebody kind of join in your journey, have somebody to be connected with, reach out to us. Our email is brutalironGym@gmail.com, and we'll help you out. So we'll ask you some questions, see what you're getting all worked up over, and maybe there's some stuff we can give you from past clients, handouts, or even our own experiences as trainers. We can kind of help you guys out and girls out. And so I don't know, sometimes it's just nice to voice your anxiety. So send us an email and just let us know what you're dealing with. And at least you'll know somebody's listening. At least you'll know somebody cares. Okay? So shoot us an email at brutalironGym@gmail.com. Cool. So hopefully this idea will help. So put it into practice. So shrink your time frame. Stop looking in the future and look in the present. Ask yourself, what can I do right now, today, to give me the best tomorrow? Cool. So if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. Also, if you like this podcast, you can sign up to become a patron of the podcast by donating $10 or more per month towards the podcast. And for your donation, we'll send you monthly programming for any goal you want. So it can be strength, aesthetics, it can be general health, it can be bodyweight exercises at home if you don't ever want to go to the gym. Whatever kind of program you want, we will send it to you for $10 a month. The programs are renewed every month, and there's usually an educational component to where you'll learn something that month while you're also doing your workouts. Cool. And if you would like to become a patron, you can do so directly in the Podbean app. You can send us an email asking about it, or you can do a Google search for Become a Patron Brutal Iron Gym Podcast. And if you like the podcast, please share it with family and friends. So the more people we help, the happier the world will be. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love, love, love to hear from you. So this podcast is for you, so we want to know what you want to learn about. Okay? You can reach us at our email at brutalironGym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.